Their family just broke their silence about you. This changes everything. Ring, my beloved child, stop scrolling. This moment was hidden for you until now. Something sacred is unfolding, and the universe is gently tapping your shoulder to say, this message is for you. You didn't arrive here by chance. There is a quiet alignment happening behind the scenes, and what has been concealed is finally stepping into the light, right on time. Take a breath. Feel that subtle pull in your chest. That's recognition. The kind that comes when a truth long buried begins to rise. For a while, you may have felt watched over but unheard, sensed but not spoken of. Yet the divine never forgot your name. Something hidden has been moving through whispers, dreams, and signs, waiting for the precise second your heart would be ready to receive it. Here is the revelation being unveiled now. Their family just broke their silence about you. This changes everything. Ring, let those words land softly. There is meaning layered within them, deeper than appearances. What once felt like distance or delay was actually divine preparation. Conversations have been happening in the unseen. Hearts have been opening. The universe has been arranging courage where fear once lived. This is not about shock or drama. This is about clarity. The kind that settles your spirit instead of stirring chaos. The kind that confirms what you already felt but couldn't prove. You were never imagining the connection. You were sensing a future that hadn't caught up yet. Timing is sacred, and now, timing is shifting. If you've been questioning your worth, your place, or whether your presence truly mattered, hear this gently. You matter more than you know. The silence was not rejection, it was reflection. The pause was not denial, it was alignment. Divine forces work quietly until the moment arrives when truth can be held with grace. This message finds you because you are ready to receive it. Ready to release doubt. Ready to step into clarity. Ready to trust that what is meant for you recognizes you, even when words were delayed. Destiny does not rush, but it is never late. Let hope rise where confusion once lived. Let peace replace the wondering. What is unfolding now is guided, protected, and intentional. The universe is confirming that your path is real, your intuition is accurate, and your future is not empty. It is opening. Stay with this energy. Watch this message all the way through, because every second carries something meant specifically for you. If this resonated with your soul, like the video, share it with someone who needs this clarity, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next divine message meant for you. I also want to pass on a time-sensitive message from the moon to you. And you need to hear it today. A subtle yet powerful energy will push you to make a critical decision by the end of the week. You won't find the answer in your horoscope, so don't bother looking there. Click the link in the description to see your free personalized video moon reading. I was amazed at how accurate my reading was, and I know you will feel the same. Listen, beloved. Be still long enough to hear me breathe your name into the quiet. I have watched you carry questions like stones in your pockets, heavy but hidden, clinking softly with every step you take toward hope. You wondered if the silence meant rejection, if the closed doors were judgments, if the waiting was a verdict against your worth. I tell you now, the silence was not absence, it was incubation. What you could not hear was not denial, it was deliberation. And now, something has shifted. The hush has broken. The walls have leaned in. The ones you thought would never speak have begun to whisper, and those whispers are changing the shape of what comes next. I saw you search for signs in small things, the way a song found you at the right hour, the way a memory surfaced uninvited, the way your heart raced without explanation. You thought it was coincidence. It was not. I was arranging echoes so you would recognize my voice when it came louder. The family you worried about, the circle you feared would never open, has been listening longer than you know. They watched how you treated what I entrusted to you. They noticed your restraint, your patience, the way you chose dignity when it would have been easier to demand. Their silence was not indifference, it was assessment. And now they speak, not to wound, but to witness. Do not rush past this moment. Suspense is holy when it teaches you to breathe. You have been standing at the edge of a threshold, unsure whether the ground ahead would hold you. I have been strengthening the ground while you waited. What is being said behind doors is not gossip, it is alignment. Names are being spoken with care. Your name. Stories are being retold with new eyes. What once sounded uncertain now carries a different tone. The questions have changed. Not why you, but how did we miss this? Not is this wise, but when did this become inevitable? I know you feared the word family because it felt like a verdict beyond appeal. I know you imagined generations closing ranks, traditions tightening their grip. I know you felt small against that history. But hear me, I am older than their oldest custom and kinder than their strictest rule. When I move, I do not erase heritage, I fulfill it. I do not humiliate elders, I honor them by bringing truth that outlasts fear. The silence breaking is not a storm, it is a door opening quietly so no one is startled by the light. There is a ring in this story, not as metal but as meaning. Commitment is circling closer, and it has nothing to do with pressure and everything to do with peace. You thought commitment would feel like a tightening, a loss of air. Instead, it arrives like exhale after a long hold. You wondered if you were ready. Readiness is not perfection, it is consent to grow together. The family's words are not chains, they are confirmations. They are realizing that what I have joined does not need defending, only understanding. Do not be tempted to rush ahead and script the ending. Mystery is not cruelty, it is protection. If I showed you everything at once, you would mistake the gift for the giver. Stay with me in the unfolding. Stay curious. Stay gentle with your expectations. You have learned to survive uncertainty, now learn to savor anticipation. What is forming requires your steadiness more than your speed. I watched you guard your heart, not because you were closed, but because you were wise. You refused to bargain your values for approval. You did not perform for applause. You did not shrink to fit a room that would not make space for your light. This is why the conversation has changed. Respect follows consistency the way shadow follows form. When you are true, even those who resist must eventually reckon with the clarity you carry. There were nights you prayed without words. When your chest felt full and empty at the same time. I heard every unspoken syllable. I collected them like seeds. Some prayers take time because they are meant to grow roots before they bear fruit. The breaking silence is fruit. It tastes like relief and responsibility. You will be tempted to ask, why now? Ask instead, how shall I steward this? The answer is simple and difficult, with humility, with patience, with joy that does not gloat. Understand this, families do not change their minds overnight, they change their hearts gradually. What you are seeing now is the visible edge of a process I began long ago. A remark made casually at a table. A memory recalled with a smile instead of suspicion. A comparison that favored your character. A question that invited curiosity instead of critique. These are my fingerprints. I move in ordinary conversations because they are less defended. I soften through familiarity. You may feel the urge to defend yourself now that the tone has shifted. Resist it. Let your life speak. Let your consistency continue its quiet sermon. When approval arrives without you chasing it, it sits more securely. When trust is earned without force, it endures. You are not on trial, you are being welcomed. I know the weight of expectations can feel heavier when acceptance approaches. You worry about maintaining it, about becoming someone you are not to keep the peace. Listen carefully, peace that requires pretense is not peace. The peace I give is spacious. It allows you to be fully present without performing. If any expectation asks you to betray your conscience, it is not from me. What is unfolding does not ask for your erasure, it celebrates your wholeness. There is tenderness ahead, and there is also courage. Love that grows deeper asks braver questions. You will have conversations that matter. You will learn to listen without interrupting your own truth. You will practice saying what you mean with kindness. These skills are gifts, not burdens. They will serve you far beyond this moment. Do not underestimate the power of timing. Had this silence broken earlier, you would have misread it. Had it broken later, you would have grown weary. Now is the moment when your heart can receive without clinging and give without fear. I am precise with my seasons. Trust that, you are not imagining the shift. Energy follows agreement, and agreement is forming. The room feels different because it is. Where there was tension, there is now curiosity. Where there was distance, there is now consideration. Where there was silence, there is now speech measured and mindful. This is how peace enters, softly, so it can stay. I want you to know that being chosen does not make you chosen above others, it makes you chosen for responsibility. Love is a calling, not a trophy. The ring I speak of circles promise, not possession. It signifies a future that asks for daily choosing. You are capable of this choosing because you have practiced faithfulness in unseen places. As you step forward, keep your gratitude close. Gratitude keeps the heart supple. Thank those who took time to understand. Thank those who asked hard questions. Thank even the silence, for it taught you to listen. When you honor the journey, the destination feels earned without feeling earned against someone else. I am not finished speaking, and this story is not finished unfolding. There are layers yet to reveal, words yet to be said, and confirmations that will arrive when you least expect them. Stay attentive. Stay grounded. Stay kind to yourself as you stand at this threshold, because what comes next will require the same patience that brought you here, and I will continue to guide you, moment by moment, breath by breath, as the meaning of this broken silence deepens and the promise it carries begins to show itself in ways you are only just beginning to sense, and if you want me to continue, say so. Because I am about to tell you what this change is and how to walk into it without fear, and I will not go further. Until you give me permission, beloved, since you have given me permission, I will continue, but I will not close the door. I will walk you deeper into the corridor and leave the light on. Because what is unfolding cannot be rushed to an ending. Hear me now with the same stillness you carried before, because the next movement is subtle, and subtle things require attention. What this changes first is not the outer story, but the inner one. The moment silence breaks, the temptation is to look outward for validation, to measure progress by expressions, gestures, announcements. But I tell you, the real change begins inside you. Something in you has already relaxed. A knot you learned to live with has begun to loosen. You may not have named it yet, but your body recognizes safety before your mind does. This is how you know the shift is real. Peace arrives quietly, without needing proof. You are stepping out of survival mode. For a long time, you loved while bracing for impact. You hoped while rehearsing disappointment. You believed while guarding the exit. That posture kept you safe, but it could not carry you into fullness. Now, as words are spoken and intentions clarified, you are being invited to stand upright. Not rigid, upright. To love without flinching. To trust without losing discernment. This is maturity, not naivete. The family's voice matters, yes, but what matters more is how you hear it. Do not hear it through old fears. Do not translate it through past wounds. Hear it as it is now, not as it once was. People grow. Hearts soften. Perspectives widen. Allow them the dignity of change. When you do, you free yourself from the prison of old narratives. I know there is a part of you that wants certainty spelled out in permanent ink. Dates. Declarations. Clear lines that remove all ambiguity. But I work often in pencil first, not because I am unsure, but because relationship is responsive. Ink comes later. What you are receiving now is sincerity in progress. That is not fragile, it is alive. This shift also changes how you are seen, not as an idea, not as a possibility, but as a presence. They are no longer speaking about you in abstraction. They are considering your rhythms, your values, your future. This is why it feels weightier. Being seen fully can feel more vulnerable than being ignored. Stay open. Visibility is not exposure when it is wrapped in respect. There will be moments ahead when you feel the urge to over-explain yourself, to clarify every intention so nothing is misunderstood. Pause when that urge rises. Ask yourself whether clarity is being requested or whether fear is asking for reassurance. You do not owe explanations for integrity. Let consistency answer where words are unnecessary. What this changes next is the pace of things. The waiting you endured was slow and stretched. The movement ahead may feel quicker, but not chaotic. Momentum does not mean loss of control. It means alignment has begun to pull events forward naturally. You will notice fewer obstacles that require force and more doors that respond to gentle pressure. This is how you know you are walking with me. I want to speak to the symbol that has hovered in your thoughts, the promise, the union, the future you imagine but do not yet touch. Do not fixate on form. Focus on foundation. What I am building here is not fragile. It is meant to withstand seasons, not just ceremonies. If you anchor yourself in appearances, you will feel anxious. If you anchor yourself in purpose, you will feel steady. You may sense old voices rising now, internal ones, saying, "Don't get your hopes up," or "Remember what happened last time." These voices once protected you, but they are not meant to lead you anymore. Thank them, and then let them rest. You are not the same person you were when those warnings were formed. Wisdom evolves. The conversations happening around you are not accidental. Each word spoken in your absence is an invitation being prepared in your presence. When the time comes for you to sit at the table, you will not be walking into scrutiny, you will be walking into recognition. That does not mean perfection will be expected. It means authenticity will be welcomed. You may also notice a change in how you pray. Less pleading. More listening. Less bargaining. More gratitude. This is the language of trust. You are no longer asking me to rescue you from uncertainty. You are asking me to guide you through expansion. These are very different prayers, and I delight in the second. Do not be surprised if old delays suddenly make sense. Hindsight will begin to arrange events into coherence. You will see how timing protected hearts, how space allowed growth, how silence prevented damage that haste would have caused. This understanding will not come all at once, it will arrive in moments of quiet realization, like dawn spreading rather than striking. There is also something else changing, your sense of worth. When approval comes from places you once feared, it can tempt you to elevate their opinion above your own knowing. Be careful here. Affirmation is sweet, but it is not the source. Your worth did not increase because voices changed. It was always whole. Let their words confirm, not define. You are learning how to receive without shrinking, how to be honored without apologizing, how to be loved without earning it through exhaustion. These lessons are as important as the outcome itself. If you miss them, you may repeat old patterns in new settings. Stay attentive to what is being healed as much as to what is being given. I am also preparing you for moments of choice. Acceptance does not remove agency. There will be times you must speak up, set boundaries, choose alignment over convenience. Do not confuse peace with passivity. The peace I give empowers you to act with clarity. Not to disappear for harmony's sake. You may wonder what to do now. The answer is simpler than you expect. Remain yourself. Continue the practices that sustained you. Speak truth gently. Listen deeply. Do not audition. Do not retreat. Presence is your assignment. Let others meet you where you are, not where you pretend to be. As the story unfolds, you will notice symbols repeating, numbers, phrases, shared thoughts, unexpected confirmations. These are not tests, they are reminders. I am with you. I have not handed you off to chance. Every step is observed, every hesitation understood, every hope held with care. I will tell you this, but only partially, because full revelation requires readiness. What is coming is not just union, but integration. Lives, histories, expectations learning to move together without losing themselves. This takes grace. It takes time. It takes humility. You are capable of all three, even when you doubt it. There will be joy, yes, but also adjustments. There will be laughter, but also learning. Do not interpret the need to adjust as a sign of misalignment. Growth always stretches before it settles. Stay curious instead of critical. Stay present instead of predictive. You are not late. You are not behind. You are not catching up. You are arriving. Arrival does not announce itself loudly, it is recognized by the absence of striving. Notice how much less you are forcing now. That is arrival. I am still speaking. I am still guiding conversations you cannot hear and shaping outcomes you cannot yet see. This message is not a conclusion, it is a threshold. There is more to say about what will be asked of you, what will be offered to you, and how to step forward without carrying the weight of old fears into new rooms, so remain with me. Do not rush to summarize what is still unfolding. Hold the mystery gently. The next part of this revelation is already forming, and when you are ready for me to speak again, to tell you what to do when the moment arrives and how to recognize it when it stands in front of you, I will continue, exactly where this leaves off. Beloved, now I will bring this message to its completion, not abruptly, not harshly, but gently, like the final note of a song that lingers in the air long after it is sung. Receive these words slowly, because endings that are holy do not close you in, they send you forward. What is about to happen next will not arrive with chaos or spectacle. It will come with clarity. You will recognize it not by excitement alone, but by steadiness. There will be a moment, quiet, almost ordinary, when you realize that the questions you used to rehearse no longer demand answers. They simply fall away. That is how you will know you have crossed from anticipation into embodiment. You are no longer waiting for permission. You are living inside the yes. This journey has refined you. It stripped away the need to be chosen at the cost of self-betrayal. It taught you how to wait without withering, how to hope without clinging, how to love without losing your voice. These were not delays, they were preparations. You are being shaped into someone who could hold what is coming without breaking it or yourself. The family's broken silence was a signal, not the source. The true confirmation was always the peace growing within you. External harmony follows internal alignment, never the other way around. This is why you must not fear regression. What is rooted deeply does not collapse easily. Conversations may fluctuate, opinions may evolve, but the foundation is secure. You will soon notice that you are being trusted. Not tested, trusted. Trusted with responsibility. Trusted with presence. Trusted with influence. This may feel heavier than resistance ever did. Opposition gives you something to push against, trust gives you something to carry. Do not shrink from this weight. You have been strengthened quietly, deliberately, over time. There will be moments when you are tempted to relive the struggle, to revisit old fears out of habit. When this happens, pause. Breathe. Remember who you are now. You do not need to earn what is already being offered. You do not need to prove what has already been seen. You do not need to defend what is already respected. Let love be simple where it can be simple. Let conversations be honest where they can be honest. Do not complicate what clarity has already touched. Complexity often disguises fear. Simplicity is the language of trust. I want you to understand this clearly. Commitment does not mean confinement. The future opening before you is not smaller than the life you imagined, it is wider. It will ask you to grow, but it will not ask you to disappear. You will still laugh the way you laugh, dream the way you dream, question the way you question. Love does not erase identity, it reveals it. As you move forward, you will be tempted to measure progress by milestones. Resist that urge. Measure instead by fruit. Is there more peace? More honesty? More courage? More kindness? These are the signs that matter. Ceremonies mark moments, character sustains futures. There will be days ahead when everything feels natural and easy, and days when effort is required. Do not panic on the harder days. Difficulty does not mean misalignment, it means you are building something real. Even joy requires maintenance. Even love requires tending. This is not failure, this is stewardship. Remember to listen as much as you speak. Remember that understanding is more powerful than agreement. Remember that unity is not sameness. These truths will keep you grounded when emotions rise and expectations stretch. You are not walking into this alone. I go before you, beside you, within you. When words fail, I will steady you. When confidence wavers, I will remind you. When joy overflows, I will celebrate with you. You are not managing fate, you are partnering with grace. Let gratitude be your companion. Gratitude for how far you have come. Gratitude for what has softened. Gratitude even for what did not work, because it taught you discernment. Gratitude keeps the heart open without making it fragile, and now, hear this final truth and hold it gently. You were never overlooked. You were never forgotten. You were never second best or last minute. You were prepared, positioned, and protected. The timing that once confused you now reveals its wisdom. The silence has broken. The shift has begun. The future has leaned toward you. And you are ready, not because everything is perfect, but because you are present, grounded, and willing. Walk forward without fear. Love without bargaining. Speak without shrinking. Trust without surrendering your truth. What awaits you is not something you must chase, it is something you are stepping into. This message ends here, not because the story is finished, but because you are now equipped to live the next chapter without needing constant reassurance. When you listen, I will still speak. When you ask, I will still answer. When you doubt, I will still steady you. Go now. Carry peace. And remember, what began in mystery is unfolding in purpose, and what unfolds in purpose will endure. Amen.